Back near the goal line, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first, and it's third down now. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and a mile. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, here we go, back man. 180!
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves that you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it.
Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. So he's hit Pater twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't he? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. They start the drive with Cook, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
To throw is Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Handoff comes to Cook. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Cousins now on 2nd down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A Vikings first down. Diggs able to find his way free and get the catch from Cousins.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A toss to Cook. Oh, spinning away. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Leave it. Ringo, 48.
Now Cousins. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And he's able to find Diggs. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line.
Pass interference. Defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. And a little floater there is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
Double tight, guys, double tight. We got 4.
From the red zone now, Cousins. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Forbath, the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So that one a 13-play drive in total, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Forbath out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And out and out come the Eagles. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? It's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Now Forbath for the extra point. Forbath able to convert the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
Deep in there, right? And not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And he lost the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
On the carry, it's Cook. Down right around the 25. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. On play action, Cousins. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Yeah, and that play was pretty well doomed right from the start. The pressure was really affecting him. Collapsed everything in the pocket. He had to move around, try to get it downfield. Incomplete.
On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Forbath will put this one through, and they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out. you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Forbath now to kick it away after the made field goal. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. What's that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wentz now on first down. Stays on his feet. High throw, but he makes the catch. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. There we go. Back man. 120.
Wentz will try again on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Everson Griffin with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Eagles send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey. 4 down.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run again on 1st down. Cook. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And they're going to speed things up here. They run it again with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Throwing is Cousins. And they're going to try the screen. It's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal.
Hey, 4 down. Here we go.
Working from the gun, Wentz. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. It was Andrew Sendejo from his strong safety spot able to make the play.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal?
Here we go. 120. What you said? 54.
One final try now for Wentz. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long from Philly.